Hey everyone, and thanks for logging on to ABC2News.com. Meteorologist Mike Taylor with an outlook on what you could expect for the rest of this evening. Going into the day tomorrow, we are expecting some snow to move in. In fact, it's already on radar, but we have some very dry air at the surface and also aloft to a degree, and it's keeping a lot of this snow from reaching the surface. I'm thinking that's going to change later this evening. Here's a widen-the-scope view, and this system, even though we're seeing some precip returning on radar, that is, just above the immediate Baltimore metro area. This is the other location that we'll be watching as it moves in the easterly direction. It's a very hybrid system. It's an area of disturbance from a jet streak, and it's also turning into a Alberta clipper right over us, and that's why it's producing some snowfall. It's not going to be very intense, though. I'm thinking it's going to be a quick hitter. This evening, going into the early morning hours of Friday, is how long the snow will be most intense. So 9 p.m., you can find that the radar is beginning to fill in a little bit. As we go until around midnight, there it is. And then by 3 a.m., things will begin to wind down at this point, and skies will be clearing up. Now, there's several factors at stake here. We have a dry slot above us, we have a jet streak just north of us, and we also have a system of low pressure developing to the south of us. Models are having a hard time coming together with all these different features, and that's why the snowfall forecast is not very impressive. It's a very disorganized system. It doesn't have a lot working with it all together. So I'm thinking a dusting to 1 inch will be possible. Some areas north of Baltimore, possible to see 2 inches or more, but I think that's going to be very isolated as opposed to widespread across Maryland. But it's a pretty fair bet that most of the area will at least see some snow, leading to a dusting to 1 inch, with some spots getting more. So here's your forecast rundown. Snowy details. The main event is expected after 6 p.m., but I'm thinking as the atmosphere becomes more saturated, it's likely to see some flurries and maybe even some light snow before then. Tricky travel for any untreated roads Thursday night into your Friday morning. So a heads up there. The main roads will probably be salted, but your neighborhood streets and sidewalks probably will be icy in the morning because the crews, of course, will focus on the main locations of travel before they can get to those neighborhood streets. A dusting to 2 inches of snow will be likely. I'm thinking the dusting to 1 inch is more fair game for Maryland, but once again, 2 inches, not out of the question. Higher amounts possible north of Baltimore along the Mason-Dixon line. And Saturday's snow, which you've probably been hearing about if you've been following the forecast, it looks like the worst of that is expected to stay south of Maryland. So unless you're heading to the beaches or towards the East Coast, you probably aren't going to be affected by that system. So here's your forecast. Plan your day for Friday. 36 will be the high, slick morning commute, clearing skies in the afternoon. We may even be able to get some sunshine. By the evening, we'll be partly cloudy with a 25-degree temp. And here's a look at your weekend, a snapshot. Notice it doesn't get any warmer. It's going to be a very cold weekend, and that's not a typo. Sunday, I'm thinking most of that day will feel like 5 to 10 degrees. A very blustery and cold day for sure. And thanks for joining us here at ABC2News.com to get your forecast information. We'll have another update for you with Wyatt later this evening.